Hey everyone, Matthew here from AutoZeum. And today we need to talk about something that honestly keeps me up at night sometimes. You know what's absolutely terrifying? It's not the new rider who just got their license last month. It's watching experienced riders, people with years or even decades in the saddle, go down hard because of mistakes they absolutely should have known better than to make. I've been riding for years, and I've seen it happen way too many times. A buddy with 10 years of experience hits a corner too hot. A seasoned commuter gets taken out by target fixation. A track day veteran gets complacent on their daily route and pays the price. And every single time, the first thing out of everyone's mouth is, but they're such an experienced rider. Here's the brutal truth that nobody wants to admit: experience doesn't make you immune to mistakes. In fact, sometimes experience makes you more vulnerable because you start thinking you're invincible. You develop bad habits. You get overconfident. You stop doing the things that kept you safe when you were scared and cautious as a new rider. So today, I'm breaking down the 10 most brutal mistakes that experienced riders make, the ones that lead to crashes, injuries, and destroyed motorcycles. Some of these hit close to home for me, and I guarantee at least a few will make you think about your own riding. Let's dive in. Mistake number one: overconfidence in familiar roads. This one is responsible for more experienced rider crashes than almost anything else, and it's terrifying because it feels so harmless. You're not riding recklessly, you're not pushing limits, you're just comfortable. You've ridden this road hundreds of times, same commute, same weekend loop, same favorite stretch of twisties. You know exactly where the curves are, where the pavement dips, where traffic usually slows down. And because you know the road, your brain quietly turns the volume down. That's when things get dangerous. Familiarity tricks you into riding on memory instead of observation. Your eyes stop scanning as actively. Your mind fills in the blanks instead of actually seeing what's there. You assume the corner is the same as yesterday. You assume the road surface hasn't changed. You assume drivers will behave the way they usually do. But roads don't care about your assumptions. Gravel shows up after a rainstorm. Diesel spills from a truck. A car pulls halfway into your lane because the driver isn't expecting a motorcycle. Construction crews repaint lines that subtly change how a corner flows. One small change is all it takes. What makes this especially deadly for experienced riders is confidence. You don't feel tense or cautious anymore, so you don't have that natural alertness that newer riders have. You're relaxed, but not in a good way. You're disengaged. I've seen riders absolutely shocked after crashing on a road they knew like the back of their hand. That shock comes from the belief that familiarity equals safety. It doesn't. Familiarity just means you've survived it before. The fix isn't fear, it's presence. Every ride deserves your full attention, even the boring ones, especially the boring ones. I treat familiar routes like they're unpredictable on purpose. Eyes up, scanning far ahead, expecting something to be different today. Experience should make you more observant, not more relaxed. The moment a road feels easy is the moment you need to wake yourself back up. Mistake number two: using the throttle as a solution to everything. This is a classic experienced rider trap, especially for those who've spent years on powerful bikes. You've got good throttle control. You trust your wrist. You've powered out of sketchy situations before, and that success teaches the wrong lesson. Throttle becomes your hammer, and every problem starts looking like a nail. Too hot into a corner? Power through. Bike feels unsettled? Roll on. Line feels off? Add gas and hope it straightens out. Sometimes it works. That's what makes it dangerous. But throttle is not a magic eraser for bad setup. And the more you rely on it, the more you ignore other tools that actually matter: braking, line choice, entry speed, and patience. I've watched incredibly skilled riders crash because they tried to throttle their way out of a situation that demanded slowing down. Tires only have so much grip. Suspension only works within certain limits. Physics doesn't care how smooth your throttle hand is. What's worse is that relying on throttle masks mistakes instead of fixing them. You never learn to properly set entry speed. You never refine your braking. You never improve your corner approach because you're always bailing yourself out with power. Until one day, the bailout doesn't work. The fix here is humility, knowing when throttle helps and when it hurts. Sometimes the correct move is braking earlier, setting the bike properly, and riding the corner clean instead of dramatic. Smooth riding isn't about power, it's about preparation. Throttle should finish a corner, not rescue one. Mistake number three, target fixation never actually goes away. A lot of riders think target fixation is a beginner problem, something you grow out of once you've got enough experience. That's a myth and a dangerous one. Target fixation isn't about skill level. It's about how the human brain reacts under stress. When something unexpected appears, gravel, a guardrail, a car crossing the center line, your brain locks onto the threat. Vision narrows, fear spikes, and unless you've trained yourself otherwise, your bike follows your eyes straight toward the thing you're trying to avoid. I've seen riders with decades of experience ride directly into obstacles they were trying not to hit. Not because they didn't know better, but because panic overrides knowledge. The mistake experienced riders make is assuming awareness is enough. It isn't. Knowing about target fixation doesn't stop it. Only practiced response does. That means actively training yourself to move your eyes where you want to go, especially when you're uncomfortable, especially when your instincts scream to stare at the danger. I consciously practice this every ride, looking deep into corners, forcing my head to turn, breaking fixation before it starts. Because under pressure, you won't rise to your knowledge, you'll fall to your habits. Experience doesn't eliminate panic, practice does. Mistake number four, the skill fade. Nobody wants to admit this one hurts the ego, and that's why riders avoid it. You took a safety course years ago. You learned emergency braking, swerving, countersteering. You passed. You rode off feeling confident, and then you stopped practicing. Years go by. Riding becomes routine. You assume those skills are still there because you remember learning them. But memory is not muscle memory. Skills fade quietly. Your braking distances get longer. Your reactions slow down. Your precision disappears. And you won't notice until you need those skills urgently. When a car pulls out, when traffic stops suddenly, when an animal runs across the road. That's when riders realize too late that knowing something intellectually is not the same as being able to do it under stress. I force myself to practice fundamentals a few times a year. Emergency stops, swerves, slow speed control. And every time, I'm reminded how rusty I've gotten. That reminder is uncomfortable, but it's also life-saving. Experience should push you to practice more, not less. Skills are perishable. Treat them that way. Mistake number five, tire pressure and maintenance complacency. This is one of the most frustrating mistakes because it's so preventable, and experienced riders know better. But comfort breeds laziness. You stop checking tire pressure regularly because they were fine last time. You glance at the chain instead of inspecting it. You ignore brake pad wear because the bike still stops, until it doesn't. Tires a few PSI low completely change how a bike handles, especially in corners. Steering gets vague, grip drops, feedback disappears, and when something feels off, riders often blame themselves instead of the machine. I had a near miss that shook me awake. Rear tire way under pressure. Bike felt unstable in a corner it should have eaten easily. That moment reminded me how thin the margin really is. Maintenance isn't about being meticulous. It's about respect for the machine and for the risks. Now, basic checks are non-negotiable for me because the road is unpredictable enough. Your bike shouldn't be. Mistake number six, riding angry, distracted, or emotionally compromised. This is one of the most overlooked dangers in motorcycling because it doesn't look like a riding mistake on the surface. There's no bad line choice, no poor braking, no obvious technical error, and yet it quietly destroys judgment. Experienced riders tell themselves they can handle it. I'll ride it off. A quick ride will clear my head. I've ridden angry before, and maybe you have. Maybe nothing bad happened. That's the trap. Motorcycling demands full mental bandwidth, situational awareness, decision-making, reaction time. All of it depends on your head being present. When your mind is tied up in anger, stress, anxiety, or distraction, you don't have that bandwidth. You miss subtle cues. You misjudge closing speeds. You take risks you wouldn't normally take. Emotionally compromised riding doesn't always look aggressive. Sometimes it's the opposite. Riders become passive, hesitant, late on decisions. They roll into corners unsure. They hesitate in traffic. They freeze instead of committing. I've caught myself doing this more than once. Riding after a bad day, replaying conversations in my helmet instead of scanning intersections. And every time, my riding quality drops. Not dramatically, but enough to shrink my safety margin. The most dangerous part? You don't feel impaired the way you would with alcohol. You still feel capable, skilled, in control, but your reactions are slower and your judgment is clouded. Experience doesn't make you immune to this, it makes it easier to justify. The fix is honesty. If your head isn't right, you adjust, or you don't ride. That might mean taking a calmer route, riding slower, or choosing to park the bike entirely. Riding is therapy only if you're still riding responsibly. Otherwise, it's just gambling with fewer chips. Mistake number 7, group ride peer pressure. This one has ended more riding careers than most people want to admit. Group rides are fun, they're social, they push you, but they also quietly introduce pressure, especially for experienced riders who feel like they should be able to keep up. Nobody wants to be the slow one. Nobody wants to wave faster riders past. Nobody wants to admit today isn't their day. So riders push. They brake later than they should. They carry more corner speed than they're comfortable with. They ride past their visual comfort zone just to stay in formation. What makes this especially dangerous is that everyone's limits are different, and they change daily. Fatigue, mood, bike setup, road conditions, all of it matters. But group pace doesn't adjust for that. I've seen incredibly capable riders crash because they were riding someone else's ride. The rider in front was fine. The one behind wasn't. The most experienced move you can make in a group ride is backing off, letting the fast guys go, riding your pace without apology. Anyone who pressures you to ride beyond your comfort zone is not someone you should be following. True experience isn't about speed, it's about restraint. If you can't ride your own ride in a group, the group is the problem, not you. Mistake number 8, cold tires in the first few miles. Every experienced rider knows this one, and yet it keeps happening. Cold tires don't grip. Cold brakes don't bite the same. Cold suspension doesn't respond predictably. And still, riders hop on, fire the bike up, and ride like they're already 10 miles in. The first few miles are when everything is stacked against you. Tires are cold. Fluids haven't circulated fully. Your own reactions aren't sharp yet. Your body is stiff. Your senses haven't synced up. That's when crashes happen. I've watched riders lose the front in the first corner, leaving a parking lot. Same corner they've ridden 100 times. Same bike, same skill level. The only difference? Cold tires and impatience. This mistake isn't about knowledge, it's about discipline. The fix is boring and effective. The first 10 minutes of every ride should be smooth and conservative. Gentle, lean angles, progressive braking, no sudden inputs. You're not wasting time. You're buying traction. Warm tires forgive mistakes. Cold tires punish confidence. Mistake number 9, weather condition denial. Experience gives riders confidence in bad weather, but sometimes that confidence turns into denial. I've ridden in rain before. I know how this bike handles. It's not that bad. The mistake isn't riding in poor conditions. The mistake is riding the same way you ride in perfect conditions. Rain reduces traction, cold reduces grip, wind affects stability, visibility drops, stopping distances increase. None of that is optional. Experienced riders crash in bad weather because they underestimate how much adjustment is required. They carry familiar speeds into unfamiliar conditions. They don't widen margins enough. Experience should teach adaptability, not stubbornness. When conditions worsen, everything needs to slow down. Speed, lean, expectations, ego. The road doesn't reward toughness, it rewards respect. Mistake number 10, the it won't happen to me mentality. This is the root mistake, the one beneath all the others. Experienced riders survive close calls. They get away with mistakes. They build a mental record of nothing happened. And slowly, without realizing it, they start believing they're different, smarter, better, safer. And that belief erodes caution. This mentality doesn't make riders reckless overnight. It makes them casual, skipping checks, ignoring warning signs, taking small risks that add up. Every rider who's ever crashed thought it wouldn't happen to them, right up until it did. The riders who stay upright longest aren't the most confident. They're the most humble. They respect randomness. They respect bad luck. They respect the fact that riding is always a calculated risk. Experience should deepen that respect, not erase it. Stay humble, stay sharp, stay aware. That's how you keep riding for decades instead of becoming a story people tell. So here's my challenge to you and to myself, because I need this reminder too. Stay humble, stay alert, keep practicing the basics. Don't let experience make you complacent. Treat every ride like it matters, because it does. I'm Matthew from AutoZeum, and I want all of us to keep riding safely for years to come. If this video made you think about your own riding, drop a comment below and let me know which mistake hit home for you. And hey, if you learned something today, subscribe to the channel because we're going to keep talking about real riding, the good, the bad, and the lessons we all need to hear. Ride safe out there, everyone. I'll see you in the next one.